It all started when I was 9. My mom sold me for drugs, and she used to have her boyfriends rape me so that she can get heroin. And so ever since I was 9, I left my house and I started living with a friend of mine. And ever since then, she took me in and we've been best friends ever since. And I started doing drugs and she introduced me to prostitution and Backpage and selling drugs and being with a whole bunch of guys, and it was kind of just, I got used to it. I can't really say I had a routine. I was always on and off with prostitution because sometimes I would go and sell drugs or sometimes I would stay on Backpage for a couple months. But it all started, I was on Backpage for the first time when I was 10. And ever since then, the last time I was on Backpage was last year when I was 16. I don't regret it. I feel like it's made me a stronger person and it's made me realize things, and the mistakes that I made in my life from 10 to now got me in this place where I now have my GED. I'm going home tomorrow and I've accomplished something, because if I would have stayed home, I came here from jail, like county jail. Like I was with all the grown-ups and all that stuff because I got in a car with a guy and he had a gun and my fingerprints were on the gun. So the judge took mercy on me, I guess, and he sent me here. So like without this place, I would probably still be sitting in county jail. So like all my mistakes in my life have led up to this, and now it's just where I take it from here, knowing that I have an education now. The girl that I got hooked up with when I was 9, I started running away from home, she was 14 and she was already pregnant with her first kid. She was already working in strip clubs and she had been on Backpage, so she kind of showed me the ropes. So I never really had a pimp. I never had anyone that took my money or anything like that. Me and her had like this bond together where like we did everything together, and we would just save up all of our money and go on shopping sprees together and everything. I never had a pimp. At first it was obviously nerve-wracking. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I was unfocused, but the way that I grew up with my mom and her selling me for drugs and a bunch of other men already doing that to me at such a young age, it was kind of like, all right, I guess this is how life is supposed to be. Because I don't know my biological father, and my mother was obviously never there for me. So growing up like that at 9 years old and seeing it already happening when I was 10, it was kind of like, oh, I guess this is what life is. I probably would not have stayed here if it wasn't for me being court mandated, as they say. If the judge didn't force me to stay here, I probably would have went back to the street. I'm going home to see my friends. I'm not really going home for family. Like, I've been gone for almost 6 months now between jail time, and I've been here 3 months. And I've gotten my GED and I've worked with Dr. Lee. And I've accomplished things here, but I feel as though I'm ready to go home, even though I know I have some doubts. But everyone has doubts in life.